You might not be able to hear it, but I have baby birds living in my chimney, so that's fun. So if you're on YouTube long enough, you'll learn a few things, like no one really cares if you hold a wireless microphone up to your face, as long as you disguise it in one of these things. And you'll also learn that you can actually do a lot with just one COB light, besides just slapping a softbox on it, which is ironically what I'm doing right now. Something else that I've picked up over the countless hours of watching lighting videos or practicing my own cinematography is that it's actually really important to have a catalog of different lighting setups that you can go back to whenever you're kind of stuck. Having these parabolic softboxes are really nice, but sometimes you can't always use them. So here's a couple of my go-to lighting setups for getting cinematic shots using a window as your motivation. Nanlite graciously sent me one of their most affordable and versatile lights for filmmakers, the FS300B. This light has received plenty of praise from videographers and cinematographers online. One thing about Nanlite, as opposed to some of the other budget-friendly brands, is you'll actually see Nanlite fixtures on professional video sets. So that's something that I think is actually worth mentioning. Both of these scenes that I'm showing you were shot on my trusty Panasonic GH5 with the 12 to 35 millimeter lens. So this is a pretty classic scene that I've actually done before, but I like it because of just how easy and effective it is. Blasting a light from outside during dusk or even nighttime gives you full control of the light and makes it constant and controllable. I'm adding a bounce to give me a little bit more light on my face, and I'm hazing the room. This is a very simple setup to try if you're going for a natural looking scene. If you're watching this thinking, wow, I wonder if Nigel's a good guitar player, sadly, I'm not good at all. The only problem you'll run into is light bouncing all over the place if you have white walls, so having some negative fill is also pretty helpful. But yeah, this scene was created using a constant light outside the window, some shears, and a bounce board to add some level to my face. Something that's a little bittersweet, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this cinematography practice here in my house, is that my wife and I are actually moving pretty soon. So I wanted to make the most of it while I'm still here. For this next scene, I wanted to play with bouncing the light and making it still feel as natural as possible. I used an app called Light Meter to find the Kelvin of the natural light coming through the curtains, and I set the FS300B to match. The window light coming through did have a little green because of a tree in our front yard, so I did have to compensate for that in the grade. I've seen more elegant versions of this booklight technique, but this is what I could come up with using the gear that I had. I bounced the Nanlite into a white reflector and then diffused that light with a shower curtain, creating a booklight. As you can see, the light quality is super soft and it matches what we're seeing coming through the window. I think that's something that's also important, is making sure that the light that you're using as a key isn't going to be brighter than the apparent natural light. That's when things can feel less natural and a little more lit. Here's a quick example of what the natural light is already doing, and this is with the lighting setup that I added. We do have some negative fill on the shadow side just to create a little more contrast. So yeah, this scene was created with a booklight to match the softness of the window and some negative fill on camera left. So if you don't have a softbox and you wanted to create some different lighting setups, hopefully this video gave you a little bit of inspiration and some ideas on some things that you can try the next time you want to shoot and have the light motivated from the window. Anyways, big shout out to Nanlite for letting me test this FS300B. And I would definitely say that if you're a beginning videographer or cinematographer, this is probably the first light that I would say to pick up. It's really powerful, it's bicolor, and it's a brand that industry professionals actually trust. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment, like, do all that stuff, and vai con Deus. Bye.